Welcome back to the Leeds Rhinos Podcast, episode 55. I'm Phil Daly, the head of media PR. It's a Monday, which means our match review edition, looking back on Thursday's win over at the Huddersfield Giants. Delighted to be joined by Transition Coach Chev Walker, and we'll also be talking a lot about our sides underneath the first team, the Reserves and Academy, who are having fantastic seasons and are building up to a big end of the year in the playoff and finals for those teams. We'll reflect on that and how the teams have progressed this year, as well as looking back at last week's game at Huddersfield. Don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. We're available on all the usual podcast channels to make sure you stay in touch with all things Rhinos. Remember to push that notification bell to make sure you get told as soon as each episode drops so you don't miss out. If you're looking for something to entertain yourself building up to this week's game, make sure you check out the new edition of The Knock-On Effect. Jared O'Connor and Tom Nicholson-Watton have Jack Sinfield in the chair. Very funny edition. Lots of secrets given away there from within inside the dressing room. So make sure you check that out. Another great edition there from the boys. Chev, another big win in terms of the scoreline, but a steady performance in terms of how we dealt with Huddersfield.
Yeah, it was. But again, me sitting out the back, not really fully involved in game day, and knowing the history between Huddersfield and Leeds, like, it's still a great win, regardless of their squad and stuff. We've struggled over the years with Huddersfield, regardless of form. So I thought it was a really professional performance, and they did enough defensively and attack wise. There was moments in attack it wasn't as fluent as we've been over the previous weeks, but the defensive efforts, it's just so consistent and good.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned that history against Huddersfield. It seems a real rivalry over the years. I mean, it is the rivals round. That fixture falls into 1 point wins, draws, and everything over the years. So to come up with a performance as clinical as that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, exactly. And again, like, just how we've been building over the last few weeks, patience and discipline to stick into what we know and how we play. And credit to Huddersfield, I thought they defended really well for moments, and although we was a little bit clunky, they kept turning up for each other and they were very spirited. So yeah, good performance, and some individuals pulled us out of what could have been a tougher night.
Yeah, just looking down at the side, man, Ned McCormack back in the team, 104 metres, 16 tackles, played the full 80 minutes. Nice to see Ned back out there.
Yeah, really pleasing. He's only had half a rugby previous to that away at Cass, and he's worked really hard as Ned. But again, the pre-season that the boys had there's geared him up for the year. Unfortunately, he's not had, so it was pleasing to see him get through it. He didn't get to show what he's actually very, very good at. He not played within himself, but some of them opportunities, if he's fighting fit, he'd have made something of them. But defensively, great. Got back for that tackle in the corner and put him into touch. And it was, again, a little momentum changer and commitment to his defence. I thought he was very solid.
Yeah, and nice reward for him and Max the previous week, that after all the hard work they've done, I'm presuming they'll use these couple of games they've managed to get as a real motivation going into next season's pre-season.
Yeah, and I had loads of injuries in my career, especially at the back end, and you always doubt whether you're going to be able to pick up where you left off, and them two certainly have. But they're very professional about how they go about things, and I think the resilience that they've shown and the character will only pay them in good stead down the line. So, yeah, it's promising for them if they stay fit.
Absolutely. Looking down at the stats there, top tackler Andy Ackers on his return to the starting line at 37, Callum Watkins 30 and Mikolai 28. That shows the defensive side of things. Lockie Miller again leading the way with the metres, 237 metres. Callum Watkins went far behind, 196, and James McDonald 190. Some big metres there, particularly for Callum and Macca.
Yeah, and again, both sides of the ball for them too. They've been really consistent over the last 7 weeks. Contributed a lot to what's good about the team at the minute. And again, because they're willing to work so hard, the likes of Lockie and Crofty are now getting the rewards with the ball in hand, due to the field position that we're getting the ball back, because the middles are just investing so much. And it's a balance of field position, and the more disciplined we are, and more the commitment that we're showing to defence is putting us in some good spots to be able to go on attack. So both sides are complementing each other, but them two are workhorses within that.
We're beginning to get players back now. Cooper last week, Mikolai obviously coming back in, Keenan hopefully not far away, Tom Horror not far away. Is it a testament to how well this team's performed that actually we've been able to maintain those standards even with players out?
Yeah, and again, it all stems back to that pre-season of committing to doing the hard things and doing it regardless. Fair play to BA and the coaching staff. They've not once mentioned, either in the media or to the players, about players that we've been missing. You see it a lot from other clubs where they hang out on a lot of players that are not in their squad rather than concentrating on what they've got. And I think that's fair play to the coaches, but the players have really took that by the scruff of the neck and just gone, well, if I'm in, I'm doing my job and I'll do it to the best that I can. So credit to the squad, and that's the pleasure of having the squad that we've got, and it's now getting a little bit deeper with them younger lads. They're getting closer to being able to step in there, so we're building nicely.
And looking back on the game itself, obviously opening score came from Harry off that kick, a well-timed run from Harry. We had other chances. I think when James McNaughton made that brilliant break upfield and it didn't quite work for us, and then obviously we kicked 2 penalties to keep the scoreboard ticking over before half-time. Was patience key in that scenario?
Yeah, and you can look at that. We've probably bombed a couple of opportunities, but it was all in playing how we've been playing. We just didn't execute or nail that moment. So it's hard to pull it apart. Now, if it had been out of system or out of game model, it'd be a little bit of a different story. But I think we stuck to his guns, and it just didn't stick that final pass on at the weekend. So it's one of those where we just got to bank them tackles, and get a real feel of it. And when things are not going your way, you've just got to bring it back a little bit and nail your sets, get to the end of it, and hopefully you come up with the tries that we did like with Harry's. And when we've been getting to the last, we've been very good with that.
In the second half, Morgan Gannon got over for a try. He reacted quickest to a bit of a ricochet ball there, but overall in his game, he moved into the halves when Jake Connor went off with his rib injury. Another comprehensive performance from Morgan.
Yeah, he's unbelievable talent. He's just adaptable, and you could see him there when he moved into the halves. He really took hold of it, and he was directing the players around and building the sets, which it's an hard skill to do, and especially when it's not your number one position. So he just gets it. He gets the game, he gets our game model, and he moved in there smoothly, and I think that's a sign of a very good player and an intelligent player. Callum did it early in the year, where they're just able to get a feel of it because they understand the whole picture of it, not just their role. So for any young lads, that's the one where you invest in knowing what all the other positions need or do, and work out how that complements your game, so that if you ever do get the opportunity to get in there, you kind of have an understanding of it.
I mean, just in terms of the practicalities so fans can understand how that process goes about. So when you have a particular key positional change like that, and how central Jake's been to our play this year, how's that message communicated across the team when obviously they're in the heat of battle as well, changing those roles?
I think it's a trust thing. Like Gano's had some reps in there, and he's had a couple of games this year playing in the halves. Fortunately, he was a half as a junior, so that backs him up as well. That he's got that experience of playing there. So I think the players just trust and know that Gano's like got it in him to be able to direct the team around, and they just jump on board with it. So I think it wasn't really. It was a loss seeing Jake go off, obviously, because of how influential he's been to the team. But Gano slotting in there, you've got a calm head that knows how to get the team around the field. Probably, obviously, a different style to Jake, but very competent in doing it.
And talking of calm heads, the try that Brodie Croft finished off well, nice play from Lockie Miller. All the avenues seem to have been closed off by Huddersfield, but he comes with that little chip over the top, collects it himself, and
Yeah.
Brodie had the presence of mind to slide on the wet surface to get to the line.
Yeah, it was such a throwback try.
Yeah.
Like chip kick tries and stuff. It's dying out. It's gone. So yeah, it was a breath of fresh air to actually see it. And Lockie's got a lot of vision and a lot of instinct, and he's really took hold of controlling when he can show them bits of his game. But he's got it bang on with the timing now, and yeah, big moment and great support from them too, to be on the same page and know that just a little thing where Crofty's gone from his right side to his left side, knowing that the defence would be sliding across to go and try and get Lockie. It's just smart, like little things like that. We could have easily bombed that way if he stays on the outside and the scramble D takes him. So yeah, no, great try to watch.
And you say dying art, it is an art, isn't it? It's a skill, isn't it? It isn't just luck. Lockie chips over the top there, one bounce into his hands, and then it's away. It's something. I imagine he probably since a kid he was chipping over and doing that sort of skill. It's that 10,000 hours thing, isn't it? Where you can imagine he's practiced that thousands of times on a field when no one's watching.
Yeah, and that's it. And us as coaches, we almost strangle that out of players. Because you're worried about the possession and the completion of it. But if you put them players in them situations, the ones that have had them backyard reps and practiced it and pretended they were at Wembley or somewhere, they've got it in them, and you've just got to back them sometimes and then put your defence on the back of it if you don't go right.
And I think it shows in the faith that the coaching staff having Lockie to do that, because I spoke to him for this week's edition of Blue and Amber, the Matchday magazine, and he spoke about the last 2 times he'd done that, it run dead, and he gave away a 7 tackle set, but he still wasn't inhibited to do it again when it mattered to come up with a try.
Yeah, and again, I think that's a credit to the defence. Long has done a good job with that, and they're almost seeing it now as an opportunity. So every time that it goes wrong or something goes down, it's right next job and opportunity to show the defensive side of the team. So wherever we've got that, we've got a chance in any game.
And nice for Mick to go for a try at the Def there. He seemed pretty pleased with that one.
Yeah, he didn't celebrate quite as much as he did at Magic a few years back, but no, great to have Mick back. He's such a good character to be around, and such a team man. So yeah, having him back out there and him getting the rewards for pushing on the play and coming up with a score is great. And Sammy was close as well with his. I thought it was a try myself, to be honest, but the balance across the full team, they're able to score points everywhere. So through the middle, out on the edges, through kicks, it's really starting to click and flow a little bit.
And great to see Callum Watkins back out there, captaining the side. It's a few years on from when he did it in a permanent role, but obviously with Ash and Cam out, he himself and Lockie have stepped up with the armband on.
Yeah, and he's been so good for us. Obviously, I've been here since he left, and we're actually getting now what we should have got from Cal and Hawley in that time period. They're just so influential for the young lads. I tell the boys all the time is, whenever you're in and around it, like, get around Cal and Hawley, because they're just good people and they lead well and lead by example as well. So yeah, it's great to see him out there leading the team. But he's been doing that all year, regardless of the captaincy. So yeah, it's good.
Brilliant stuff. You mentioned there just earlier on, just to go back on that you watched the game from behind the sticks, away from the. But just explain, how you watch a game and why you're in that position.
Yeah, so what obviously watch the game from behind is that from a side-on view, you can't see the distance between the defenders, the traits of their markers, and how tight their line is. You don't get a true reflection from the sideline. So by me sitting behind, I'm able to be on the headphones and just communicate little bits to the coaching staff, and little things like whether it's a try. Sometimes I'm pretty close to it, so you can see whether it is or not, and we can start to think quicker and get on the ball a little bit more. But yeah, sitting from behind and actually being on my own a little bit. One, you get to take the whole game in, and you just get a different vision and look at the game from behind. So it's good that we've got eyes everywhere to see what's happening.
Do many clubs do it? I haven't seen many other coaches behind the post.
No, I don't think they do. I tend to watch games from behind if I can. I feel like you get a better picture of what's going on and where people are, but then when it goes down the far end, you're too far away. So it is hard, but you get a better picture of where you can attack and where your defence is not right. So yeah, so it's just something that we brought in this year. We obviously got Grixie down on the field. We've got Langers and BA up there making decisions and having a look at the attack more. And I sit behind and just queue up some of the defensive stuff. So, and it helps the players. I come down at half time sometimes and just give them a few tips on what their opposition's doing a little bit, because when you're in the heat of the battle, you don't really see what their traits are. So yeah, you can help the centres and the back rows quite a bit.
Yeah, brilliant team effort from all the coaching staff contributing to it there. We mentioned earlier on, fantastic season so far for the Academy and Reserves. The Academy taking on St Helens in their semi-final, the Reserves through to their grand final against Warrington Wolves. First was on the Academy. You pleased with how this season's gone?
Yeah, very pleased. We sat down in November and targeted being in and around the finals. So we're one game away from what we wanted to achieve. We want to win. We want to win the competition. I think it's part of the players' development. Feeling like winners and acting like winners should start at that age. And again, it is all about development. So, but until we get to this part, and then it's about performance. So, yeah, really pleased with how the boys have worked hard and been so consistent to training with their attitude and the way they go about things. And they make my job easy, is try and lead by example, but lead them how I'd wanted to be leaded when I was playing, and all I'm doing is paying forward what the likes of Dean Bell and Tommy Gleeson and that gave to us such right at the start, and the lessons that I got from them just goes through, and I just drip feed it back to these boys, and they're up and running with it.
And there's a great mix of lads, isn't there, in terms of experience and everything else. Even within that academy side, I'm thinking, so Oscar Brown coming from rugby union and how well he's played this year. But you've got lads who, famous fathers in there as well, who've sort of been had to carry the weight of that all their lives. So it's great to see how they've all blended together.
Yeah, and the team camaraderie between them and the team spirit is as good as I've seen. And it's a positive environment, and I pride myself on that, is that we try and make it like a family, like that they feel part of something. Some of them will go further, some of them won't, but as long as they leave feeling that they were part of something that was good, and they leave feeling that they were left better than when they came, I've done my job. The good kids are always going to get through, and the lesser talented kids, it's not through anything other than sometimes athletic ability or temperament, but hopefully I feel like they leave a feeling that they were part of something good, and they've improved as people and as players as well.
It's a special occasion at Thursday's game against Catalans, because we'll be parading the lads who've made it through the scholarship in to sign their first professional contract into the academy, and the next cohort coming into the scholarship for next year. Do you remember back to those days when you signed your first academy contract?
Yeah, I saw Julie Bush. Julie Bush was the first person I ever met. And Dean Bell was there in 1998. So it's a long time ago. The lads keep laughing at me when I say it. But no, it's brilliant to see, and them lads that have transitioned from the scholarship have been in with us for 3 weeks. They've been doing Tuesday and Saturdays, and it's really funny watching them compared to the lads that have been in for 11 months. Just the difference in what they're capable of doing and capable of tolerating. So it's good to get them in early, give them a little bit of a shock, and just be patient with them. And then knowing in pre-season we've got to start all over again. And that's the exciting bit, is that each year you get excited about teaching these kids how to be young professionals, and hopefully the byproduct again is that they're successful come the end of the year. But it's just building blocks, and it's good to see them transition.
I know we saw recently Jamie Jones Buchanan did a box too with Roy Dickinson and he recounted the time when he signed his first contract, and Big Roy came with him to sign the contract, which is just mad when you put the two stalwarts of Bramley coming together to sign the contract, and then a fantastic journey obviously Jonesy had from that, and now of course his lads in the academy as well, and the reserves they've had a really strong season, home grand final here at AMT Headingley. Against Warrington Wolves. Looking forward to that one.
Yeah, we almost went unbeaten all year. We got beat by Hull by 2 points, right on the bell. So yeah, very good season. Really proud of how the 18s have stepped up into the reserves this year, and then how the lads have come down as well from the first team. There's no one ever come down and kicked stones. They've had full effort, and I think that's credit to BA, is that like the environment that he's created has made the players hungry to get back into the first team, not come down and sulk. So when they've come down, in previous years, you've seen first team players come down and not perform or give anything. This year they've come down, led the way, and it's also been pushed up by the 18s that are full of energy and wanting to give it. So yeah, I'm really excited for the reserves final. Not sure how long it's been since we've been in one or won one, but I think it'd be great for the club. If we're in and around the finals, we're heading in the right direction. So yeah, let's see what happens.
Yeah, and to have both teams, especially because you say so many of the 18s have moved up to reserves this year, shows that the strength in depth there, that lads have been able to either backfill and maybe play up more rugby than they would have thought they would have done in the 18s or excel at reserve level. So that's fantastic. Yeah. In terms of reserve competition as a whole, do you think it's done its job this year for us?
I think it's been better. I think it has been better. We've gone away to Lee, and there's been Super League players in that. We went to Hull and it was stacked with Super League players, same at Warrington. So it's getting there, whereas previous years it was pulled from universities. And I'd just like it to be a longer comp with more games and more opportunities for players to play. You can train as much as you want, but I think the only way that you get better is by playing and then rectifying what you've got wrong in training. So if we could get a 20-round competition, I think that the Super League would benefit from that, because when teams do have injuries, then players have been playing in a decent, strong competition against each other, and playing week on week. So at the minute, you've got players that are playing 12 games a season. And it's just not enough. Like, I think we're the only sport that doesn't provide opportunities for players to play weekly. So it probably needs to be reviewed a little bit, but it's been a great comp.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And some of the skill that's been on display has been outstanding. So more of that, the better. Just going to head to this week's game, Catalans. They've had a poor season by their high standards. They've been one of the big teams in recent years, but they had a narrow win against Salford last time out. Presumably they'll be looking at a chance to topple Leeds as a way to sort of give them some hope for the off season and show what they can do.
Yeah, and again, they're blooding some good players at the minute. Bichet is coming and is really starting to make inroads into it, and is an attacking threat. I think them as a team, they're dangerous because they've got nothing to lose. They're willing to throw the ball around and offload when they get close to your line and stuff. So, yeah, hard team to prepare for, because you don't know which version of him you're going to get. They've been a bit hit and miss this year, but you'd expect him to come to Headingley on Thursday night. Right? Yeah, Thursday night. I'm all over with the games. Thursday night and try and get a scalp and spoil what we've been doing well. So we've got to be really professional about what we do again, as we have been for the last 3-4 weeks. Very professional, to sticking to plan, being disciplined, and we have to concentrate on us. And I reckon if we do that bit and concentrate on ourselves, be at our best, the results should go our way, but they will have to work for it, I'm sure.
Yeah, when you think about it, it's a long time ago since that last meeting with over in Perpignan at the start of the season. If you think back to that game, our defence was fairly solid, albeit we lost out. But it was only 1-0 at half time. They got a drop goal just before the break. But our attack wasn't really firing. I think now our defence, look at our record over the last 4 games in particular, and we're able to match that now for our attack, aren't we?
Yeah, and like you said, defence has been very consistent. I think the changing point has been as discipline. I think we've been very disciplined to what we do, and every time that the discipline's in order, we seem to score a lot of points or get close to being a decent performance. And I think that's because we're not doing as much D as we need to.
Yeah.
So therefore, we've got the energy and clarity to be able to go and attack the way that we practice weekly. So yeah, we've come a long way since then, and the cohesion between the spine players has been pretty consistent as well, which makes a difference. And yeah, I think they're just starting to actually feel for each other and know what triggers each other to get out there and perform well and attack well. So they're complementing both sides of the ball.
And Brad's talks a lot about getting a home semi-final and being at home in the playoffs here at AMT Headingley. It's a long time since we had a home playoff game. You have to go back to that semi-final against Hull FC in 2017 for the last time we played at home in a playoff game. As someone who played in those games here, how much of a difference would it make to being a do-or-die game here at AMT Headingley?
Oh, it's huge. At the core of me, I'm a Leeds fan, so Headingley playoffs is everything that we've kind of been spoilt and grown up with. It's a special night when we get there, and I think the boys. I messaged B a bit back about. Don't think anyone's actually in this group felt other than Cal and Hawley. Probably Ash as well to a certain degree, actually felt what the club's like when it's doing well, and we're really building towards that, and yeah, it'd be special to get it full or close to being full and absolutely booming, and the lads being out there and performing the way that they have been for the last 7 weeks. They've been performing like it's playoffs. Like they've been very disciplined and worked hard in parts. So yeah, getting Headingley full and performing the way that they've been performing would be great for the boys to experience.
And it feels, I don't know about you, but in terms of how the fixtures have been recently, it feels like everyone's sort of jostling for places. I think that's the way the quirk of the fixture is. But we've had Wigan Saints, we've had the Hull Derby, but Lee have played us, they've played Saints. Everyone seems to be. It's a bit like the Grand National. Everyone's. It's that bit at the start before the tape goes up, and we can't work out who's going to hit the front first. But it feels like we're building up to the start of something special in this playoffs.
Yeah, and over our last little block, we've had some tough opposition. We've had OKR and Lee in there. Obviously, can't chase OKR, but the win at Lee has done us good. And every win that we've been after is all in aid of getting that spot in that home final. So the boys have really bought into that and been committed to it. And yeah, I think it's important. It's important that we have something to strive for and get after it. It's not just going to happen because we lead. And the mentality shift is that we need to be in and around them finals. So yeah, it's been great to be part of.
Fantastic stuff. Well, make sure you're down here on Thursday night at AMT Headingley for the clash with Catalans. We need everyone behind the boys. Obviously, it's going to be a big game. We want to get that win to set us up for the trip to Wigan the following week. Tickets are on sale now. tickets.therhinos.co.uk. Tickets are also available for the game at Wigan, so you can get those. There's travel available as well, so make sure we travel in big numbers. It'd be great to see fantastic support at Huddersfield there last Thursday. It'd be great to see something similar over at Wigan. Make plenty of noise to support the boys and finish the season on the best possible note before the playoff starts. So make sure you get that. Once again, final time, it's the National TV Awards on Wednesday. Very special friend, Rob Burrow, his final documentary is up in the authored documentary section. We need your votes to get it over the line. We want to win this one for Rob and his family. It will mean very much to celebrate his legacy by winning that on a national TV stage to win the National TV Awards. So go to nationaltvawards.com. Rob's is the 4th category, authored documentary. Select Rob, and then make sure you go through to the end and put in a name and an email address and click submit to make your vote count. Been some fantastic support. There's been celebrities and sports people all over the world giving their support to it, and there's been fantastic response from the Rugby League family here at home as well. So make sure you cast your vote before Wednesday, and tell everyone else you know to do it as well, because we want to get all them votes in, and then we can sit back on Wednesday night waiting for the awards and know we've done everything possible we can to try and get that one over the line. So make sure you do that. Don't forget, Thursday night is our special Armed Forces game. So we'll be celebrating the service that our Armed Forces give to the country. And also, as we mentioned earlier, we'll be parading our new academy and scholarship signings. And at the end of the game, make sure you don't leave early and bring down your Sharpies and your photos. It's going to be our annual lap of appreciation where the players go around and sign autographs on the side of the pitch. It's always a really special occasion. Done it for many, many years now. And a chance for you to get your autographs, get your selfies with the lads, and ahead of what's hoping to be a massive end to the season. So make sure you get the kids down. It's going to be a special night, and we'll all enjoy that together. Until next time, we'll see you on Thursday for the Q&A edition. And until then, thanks for listening, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Hi, I'm Maya Burrow, and I'm going to tell you how you can vote for my dad's documentary, There's Only One Rob Burrow, at the National Television Awards. So first of all, you need to search up nationaltvawards.com and then press Start Voting. After that, you go to the Author Documentary category and click on There's Only One Rob Burrow. Lastly, you need to put your name and email address in, then press Submit for your vote to count. It would mean the world for me and my family to win this award. So please, please, please vote.